I would love to say that I would definitely support any sort of organisation asking government to give us more money.
Hello, good morning everybody. We're on the MAG stand today where we're going to conduct an interview with Cllr David Williams from Staffordshire County Council. Now Mr Williams here is invested in one of these wonderful Pothole Pro machines which you see behind us. And we're just going to ask Mr Williams a few questions about what the machine's being used for and how much this is helping to solve the problem of potholes in the Staffordshire area. So good morning to you, David.
Good morning, Colin, you alright?
Thank you. Can you tell us first of all, you've obviously invested in one of these machines.
We have.
What difference do you think this is going to make to your ability to get the pothole problem solved in Staffordshire?
Well, as you're aware, we do have potholes the same as we have everywhere else within the country. But one of the best things that we've noticed so far, and we've trialled this machine twice, is it's a Staffordshire-based company for the Staffordshire-based machine that's actually built here in Staffordshire, and we're hoping that the fact that it can plane, cut and sweep will help us be able to mend more potholes than we ever have before. It is quite an expensive machine to run, but at the same time we're hoping that it's so efficient it will pay for itself. So we're going to be using it everywhere within the county. We will be really using it as much as we can to get as many potholes addressed and filled as much as we can. And as part of that, it will be used by the new pothole fund that we actually went out with all of the councillors around the county council. And basically they've highlighted areas where they feel they've got lots of category 3s, the low priority category potholes. And that will be going in and trying to help mend those as quickly as possible, followed by a team to fill them as much as they can. So it is something that Staffordshire County Council is really aware of. We want to make sure that our roads are as safe as possible, and actually we've got very safe roads for national statistics, but we want that to be better, and we also want the quality of our roads to be better, and we feel that this machine will help us to be able to do that. Now we are going to use it, we're going to be able to then assess how much it can do. And then we will be looking to the future of what we will be able to afford and what we can achieve, and making sure that we get the right machines in the right places so that we can do more work and help people be happy about their roads.
So, I mean, obviously one of the things that a lot of people here today have mentioned to us is that potentially one machine doesn't sound like a lot for a county the size of Staffordshire. Do you think it is on the cards that potentially you could be getting more machines in future, or is that unlikely?
There's always a potential for that, and actually the fact that it depends on when we use the machine and see how it works and how efficient it is on our scale. Obviously we're quite a rural area, so it works better on certain roads than others, but at the same time it's the matter of can it get to and from places that we need, and we never say no, because if it shows up to be the machine that we need and we want to do it, then we'll look to invest. But also we have to make sure that it, like we said previously, it's a big machine, so some areas it might not suit, especially pathways. So there are other machines that are dual purpose, and we'll look at investing in those. But we already use quite a lot of different machinery out there, but we're always looking at innovation of types of materials, trying to use less more carbon efficient materials in our roads. And the Pothole Pro, I mean, it's a diesel vehicle, but it's got AdBlue, so it's very efficient on the air. So we're looking at lots of different types of equipment, lots of different types of plant. What will work for Staffordshire is the point. It's not the case of here is this is what we use and you should use that. It's the case of what works, can we prove that, because that's what people ask me to do, prove what you're doing is right, and can you prove it's right. And if the Pothole Pro proves, as I hope it will, that it will be the machine that will really make a difference, then of course we'll look at investing in more. And to be fair, JCB are working with us to make sure that we can look at improvements, and we're working together to see what sort of machinery that might be able to develop for the follow-up part of reinstating the defect once it's cleaned and prepared.
Okay. Now, obviously we're here at a motorcycling event today. From a rider's perspective, there are some concerns that the potholes that are chosen to be fixed may not be the ones that are most relevant to a motorcyclist. The risks that it poses to a motorcyclist are quite significant, and obviously what we want to be sure of is that the risk assessors fully understand the risks as they apply to a motorcyclist. Is there anything that you can give us to reassure us that your risk assessors are able to fully understand the risks that are posed to a motorcyclist as opposed to a car driver?
I completely understand, and being an I gave up motorcycling about 5 years ago, but being a motorcyclist from quite early on, so all the way through, completely understand what you're saying. And as part of that, those actions are spoken to with officers when they do assessments. So we've brought our assessors, our inspectors back in-house. Those type of things are being discussed with them to make sure that when they look at defects and categorise them through the national statistics of categories, that even if it is a low category defect, where is it, what difference would it make to both vehicles of 4 wheels and 2 wheels, and make sure that we do fill the right ones. The other thing obviously is that I'm providing a lot of training now for our county councillors, so they will be able to see what the differences are, and they will be able to input and be able to prioritise and even bring forward potholes that they feel are dangerous. But what I always want as well is that motorcyclists are really good at it. They see a lot of potholes, they have to go around them, they see defects, and many of them are minor ones, but for motorcyclists in the winter especially, they're a bit more of a hazard. Please report them, get them on the system, because the quicker they're on the system, the quicker that I can get them identified and repaired. And actually what we've done, we've transformed and restructured the way that we're working, so there's been a huge transformation gone on, and as part of that, where areas then become where we've got several defects in one area, that can then get put up to a higher priority and actually done. But like you said, the odd one that stands out somewhere at the bottom of a hill, on a bend, islands have been quite a large one. I would ask motorcyclists to be aware of that. Islands are extremely expensive to repair due to the type of material and the traffic management that has to go with it. But please, if you see defects on them, get them reported. You've got the My Staff's app, you've got the County Council website, and the quicker they're on there, the quicker I can get them inspected. And then, like you say, you're having a meeting, I believe, with our officers next week. Get that in there, make sure that the inspectors are aware that look for motorcycles, what could be dangerous. And there are areas where that will be put on hold due to the previous works that are planned. People would definitely moan at me if I go and fill a small pothole and then we go and rip it all up and do it again, which is why we've not been doing our paths lately, because that's all being ripped up by fibre. So again, very much like with this, report it, and then what we will do is try to make sure, and what we are doing is making sure that dangerous ones are temporarily repaired. It's actually financially the right way to do it, especially if we've got plans for that area. And the temporary repairs don't last as long as the proper repairs, obviously, but they are financially viable to do that until we then do that entire stretch. So please, one of the big ones, if I could get anything today, is report it. It's really important that we get the defects reported, and then when we go out there to report it, the teams have the list and they will do the ones that are reported. If they don't, they actually then have to send it on to the inspectors to get it done, because they won't have the materials to do them also. Report your defects. Okay.
And in terms of reporting, you do that through the Staffordshire County website, do you?
Staffordshire County website, or the My Staff's app, which is an absolutely fantastic app which all the councils have signed up to. And it doesn't just do roads, it does everything. It does fly tipping, it does, you can tell you when your bins are going out. It does so much on the My Staff's app. It's it's a free one, but it's really useful. It also puts on where we've got closures and stuff, so it helps people to plan their journeys. It's a really useful app. So the My Staff's app, when you go on it and you see what's on there, you'll be quite surprised. And I think it's nearly every function of the council is on there that you can utilise to report things or interact with the council and get more information.
Okay, so obviously one of the main limiting factors in terms of repairing the roads is the finance to do it. And I've seen that the local government association have recently said that they want to see ring fencing of the fuel duty. Is that something that you think would be sensible, or is that something you would support?
Anything that would help Staffordshire County Council get more of a funding to be able to repair more roads, I would welcome, obviously. How they do it isn't up to me. But as I said, what we have got an administration that has invested £30 million over 2 years from our funds for this year and next year to make a difference, and we're hoping to be able to continue that on. To be honest, it is making a difference out there. We are getting reports of the fact that people are noticing a significant difference in the way that we are doing surface dressing programs with the new locked-in surface dressing. Especially for motorcyclists, you have very little in the way of spoil. You don't have to have it completely piled over and swept all the time, and it actually looks really, really good. And the lines can go on fairly quickly again. So again, we're investing in the right things, new materials. We're always looking at innovation. We're working with Amy to make sure we get the right materials, the right machinery, the right things to do it, and whatever funding we can get. Like I say, the County Council has invested itself. We're looking at continuing to do that. We'd love the government to give us more money, we always would, and if DFT were minded to do that, it'd be really useful. But nationally we have a similar issue, and again, here in Staffordshire we're doing as much as we can, and we are making sure that what we do is as most efficient as possible.
So would it be fair if I be putting you on the spot to say that you're supportive of MAG's attempts to promote this petition that is asking central government to increase the funding that is made available to local councils? I
would love to say that I would definitely support any sort of organisation asking government to give us more money to be able to mend rural roads. I really support that. Thank you.
That's excellent. Mr. Williams, thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin.